The first to speak will be Meghan Ritchie.
Can everyone hear me okay?
Yeah?
Everyone's good?
Louder the bathroom.
My name is Meghan Ritchie, and I'm a feminist.
Woo!
Commissioner with candidates for a democratic university. I am running to represent our female population at Trent because I truly believe that it is important for the interest. I'm running to represent our female population at Trent because I truly believe that it's important for the interests and perspectives of women to be represented in student politics, within the university administration, and in the wider community. I aim to represent our diverse population of female and female-identified students. I have a dedication to promoting the well-being of women and a history of involvement in the Trent feminist community. My involvement in our feminist community extends from my work as a women's studies major and includes being a member of the Women's Center Steering Collective and co-founder of the action group Radical Approach to Women's Wellbeing. I have a personal commitment to advocating for women's issues. As Women's Commissioner, I will serve students at Trent by increasing awareness and representation of women's events and feminist issues on campus. I plan to do this in my everyday work as Women's Commissioner. And I also have a larger plan to initiate a conference in spring 2009 to provide networking opportunities and recognition for student and community groups concerned with women's issues and initiatives. One of my goals as Women's Commissioner would be to work to foster better connections between the TCSA, the Trent Women's Center, diverse student groups, and the broader community in order to increase collaboration on women's initiatives and to promote an intersectional approach to women's issues. I want to promote more diverse involvement and wider cultural representation in women's events and issues in Trent and in Peterborough. As Women's Commissioner, I will be working closely with the other equity commissioners to increase inclusion of diverse groups in feminist politics and women's representation. The Women's Studies Department currently has the fewest full-time faculty members of any department, despite having a large number of students who are dedicated to this program. I feel that it is essential to work with the Women's Studies Department and the Trent administration in order to address the marginalization of the Women's Studies Department and their overall lack of support. I intend to encourage student awareness and organize action around this issue. Another important issue that I will address is the prevalence of gendered violence in residence. From my experience as a member of the first response team, I believe that the incidence of sexual assault and date rape drugging on campus is higher than most students are aware of. I'm concerned with the lack of transparency around issues of violence against women on campus. I intend to work with the university to ensure accountability to women in this respect. Whether or not I am elected as Women's Commissioner, I will not change my commitment to these issues. However, I believe...
Sorry, I have to cut you off.
Okay. So, questions for Charlotte? Yes.
For Meghan.
Meghan, I'm so sorry. Meghan, I'm sorry, that's my fault. I wasn't looking at my paper.
How do you propose to create a diverse group of women? Like, you say that you're going to represent a diverse group of women, but the first thing that you said was that you're a feminist. So how are you going to approach women that are not feminists and don't necessarily believe in the same values that you do?
Okay. I think that's a really important question. I identify myself as a feminist because I believe that as a feminist, I have the perspective of understanding how gender inequalities affect women, and especially within the administration and within politics. And I think that this is going to help me, this understanding will help me as Women's Commissioner to represent all women in terms of representing women who aren't feminists in women's issues. I think that promoting feminist... I'm sorry, I got to cut you off there. Another question? Yes, please.
Feeding on that question, I want to continue on it. And personally, I take women's studies courses, so I want to ask, how do you define feminism from your perspective? That's very important.
Okay. I believe that feminism is something that has a different definition for all people. For me, feminism is the understanding of how gender differences affect our experience within society, whether we're male or female, I believe that everyone is affected by gender norms and expectations, and feminism is about overcoming these and addressing them, confronting them, and it's about action around them.
Woo!